What's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Decent, you know, chilling as usual.
Oh shit. Are we recording?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit. Hey, what's up, Cafe Phobia?
Whoa.
Whoa.
What's up? Hey, I got a question for you also.
Yeah.
Are you sad?
No.
Are you a musician?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you play? Or do you sing? Or do you sing?
Yeah.
You sing?
Sorry, I blanked out. Yeah. No, I sing.
You sing? Oh, I know a lot of singers in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, Chattanooga.
That's where I'm
Tennessee.
from. I don't live in Orlando.
Oh. Chattanooga.
You
How'd you end up
really
here?
look sad. Do you know that?
Oh, I just realized what you're doing.
You look depressed. Are you sure you're not going through this?
No, I'm all good.
Well, anyways, can I read you a Bible verse real quick? Can I
Yeah.
pray over you?
No. No.
God bless you. And that was a reenactment of what happened to me this week. Eating lunch.
I didn't even realize that's what you were doing until like 3/4 of the way into it.
You just thought I wanted to know if you were a musician.
I thought this was a bit that you're building up.
Okay.
Hey, explain to that. I mean, that was basically.
That was it. That's exactly what happened, actually.
I can't believe someone walked up to you and asked, "Are you depressed?"
Well, no, they said, "Oh, you sad."
Oh, my bad.
And they said you look like you're going through something, which just means like I look depressed. That's what they say. I look miserable apparently. And you know what else happened during that lunch? I got a question for you. This is a different person.
Okay, I don't think I know about this one. What's up?
It's a really deep question. I gotta know. Are you ready for it?
No.
Exit scene. That also happened.
I forgot about that.
During that same lunch, a guy with the most piercing blue eyes came up to me and said,
And it was gonna be a religious question.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it was.
Okay, but he had a really deep question for me, and I said, no, I'm fine. I'm just eating lunch. No, thank you.
Speaking about lunch, can I talk about something?
Yeah.
I sharted myself, bro.
We all do it.
No, my first time ever.
Oh, wait, really?
No, for real. My first time ever. You know what did me in?
Taco Bell?
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh,
The Reaper.
It was the Reaper?
It was the Reaper.
When did you shut yourself?
Next day.
Next day?
Next day.
So it transferred over?
Yep. Bro. I didn't even know.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
You didn't, but that means you didn't fart. Or did you fart?
No, I farted. I was farting up and then checked my underwear later down. Later.
You didn't
not that much later. I was probably like 5 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you don't feel that? You know?
No. I mean, first thing I did was take a shower, obviously, but it was just like, what?
Were you at home?
I was at home.
Okay.
I was at home.
Thank God.
But I made sure I was locked down for that day. It's like, I can't go anywhere and risk it, you know?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that shit caught me by surprise. I thought I was just farting.
No, you were shouldering.
I sharded, bro. And that's a first. That's like a first in my book. We've talked on the pod about
You definitely shoulded yourself before as a baby, though.
Well, okay, as a baby, yeah.
I mean, you used to do it all the time. We all used to do it all the
Bro,
time.
back in my day, I'd be sharded.
When I was a baby, I used to shit myself every single day.
Hot take.
Never once made it to the bathroom.
True that.
Isn't that crazy? As a baby, I never made it to the bathroom. I just like, fuck it, I'm gonna shit myself right now.
I'm gonna do it again.
I think like low-key, like subconsciously, like we still keep that in us, and we're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna let it loose today.
Yeah. One day, it's just gonna break.
I've like had to like come to terms with myself. I'm like, dude, I'm getting too old, you know? Because like something, if I gotta shit, I gotta just go shit, even if it's a public bathroom, you know?
I don't know. It usually doesn't hit me unless I'm at home, but if it hits me while I'm out, it's like I got it.
I can't wait because like if I try to, it's like nope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show it myself next, you know? Yeah, I haven't showed it myself in like almost, I guess like 3 years.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I was at home too.
Okay. Do you remember the occasion?
Yeah, it was like week something of the NFL season. I was watching the Dolphins versus Jets one morning,
Okay.
and I just showed it. And I'm like, what?
What happened?
Just at home watching football, and I just showed it. Hey, that's the life we live.
Don't get the Reaper from Dave's Hot Chicken.
Do not do it.
Don't do it. Don't sign that.
It
way.
didn't look that good, to be honest.
It tasted like shit.
Damn.
Dave's is usually banging, but that tasted like shit. And to think I almost took a second bite.
That was one bite?
That was one bite. It was a big ass bite though. It was like that big.
Damn, I should have taken a bite. Just to see. Maybe I would have
So you could shart yourself too.
Maybe I would have showed it myself the day afterwards. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. But anyways, how's it going?
I'm good.
You good? How's your week been?
Horrible.
Horrible? Okay.
Yeah. Yours?
Pretty bad too.
Okay.
I just like can't believe so much happened this week, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Like everything fell apart so fast, you know?
Dude. People who go to the public library, UCF, public library, and they cough, they sneeze, they just have nasal drip going on. Don't sit out in the open.
No.
You're spreading germs. That's why people get sick all the time at the start of the semester.
I swear this semester there's been an epidemic of people smelling like shit next to me in class.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's up. I'm just like, what is that? And then I think it's me. I'm like, nope.
What does BO smell like besides BO? Like, how do you even describe that?
I feel like everyone has a unique BO.
But I feel like there's a pretty consistent like flavor, you know, like a little like it's like I don't know the base flavor.
I don't want to say onions, but it's almost like sharp like onions, you know?
No, it's not like onions.
I think so.
It's not onions. It's something else. It's like
It has that like pungentness.
it's
that
like
onions
prolapsed
have.
anus, you know. I guess.
I don't know what that smells like.
Maybe
You smelling prolapsed anus?
Yeah, because I had one. It's
Oh, okay. Touch it.
No, it kind of smells like that. You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a really fun glue
Mhm.
on your nostrils. No, I don't have people who smell like shit in my class.
No. But are you also sitting that close to them?
Dude, my class is cramped. Like
Really?
we're like 20 deep, and it's like the tiniest classroom I've ever seen. Thank God we got a new one. I guess.
Mhm.
No, when I'm sitting next to people in that class, I'm like, I don't. It doesn't smell like anything really. But
Yeah.
It's just normal, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me because I got the big ass lecture hall, so I don't know who's smelling like shit. But it's someone different.
Well, it's
every
gotta be
time.
someone close to you.
It is. It's usually one of the people right next to me, you know.
Like what the fuck, you know? I
Somehow.
literally I was going to school and I realized like, oh damn, my deodorant ran out the next day. So I literally stopped at Publix to get deodorant because like I'm not gonna walk into class musty.
Yeah. No, sometimes I forget deodorant. That's why I keep spraying in my car.
Exactly.
Stay prepared.
And I'll be
man.
damned if I smell. Like how do you even forget to wear deodorant?
Like, I'd go back home if I realized I didn't put it on.
Or I'd go buy it at
Yeah.
like one of the stores on campus.
Because they literally have it.
Yeah, they have
there,
literally,
you
yes,
know?
they do have it there. I'm like, I'm not gonna smell stinky. Now, I'm not saying I smell like a fresh garden of roses, you know, but like, I just have a neutral scent, you know?
I don't know. I try to do up my smell, but I'm very self-conscious about how I smell.
But it's not like aggressive smell if you.
No, like, I don't want people to smell me, but if they smell me, I want that to be pleasant. You
Okay,
know?
yeah. No, I just want a neutral scent, you know? I don't want like a cloud of smell.
Mhm.
Some people do have a cloud. What is your opinion on the cloud smell?
Okay, I'm not a fan of most, like, manly perfumes. They all smell so generic to me or whatever. And I feel like whenever a guy has that cloud, it's usually that same generic perfume. And to me, it's just like, why the fuck? You know? Does that make sense?
Like, you don't think it smells good?
I don't think it smells bad, but it's just like, why do you want this so strong? Because it's so strong, you know?
It's
Why
a
do you
cloud.
want everyone to know this?
I don't know. I feel like a good like for me if I'm wearing like a cologne, which I don't wear, but like if I did, it would something kind of like cinnamon,
Okay.
or like woody, you know,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Okay, but you know what I do like? When, like, typically a woman, you know, walks past.
Why are you saying it like it's a
I don't know. I'm just saying shit. I'm just shooting the shit. I'm just saying shit. But, like...
But it was like, oh, particularly a woman. It's like, okay, sure.
Okay. Because, no, it can be guys, too. I think it's only happened with women. I don't know. But, like, a strong vanilla flowery scent, like, as they walk past, where I'm like, oh, what was that? You know? Like,
No, I get
that's
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Like,
I do feel like a little squirrel, you know,
Yeah.
going like, ooh.
that's the shit I try to cultivate with myself, you know? I mean, that's like my scent. I use like vanilla and then I have like flowery, you know,
Mhm.
cologne. But
Okay. No, I do like when a girl walks by and she smells really nice. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay. And pheromones working. Can you smell the pheromones off of someone?
The BO. That's kind of what it is.
I guess so. But I just like, I don't know, I smelled pheromones off some people. I'm like, damn. Like, okay, you're a baddie. Not to snap.
You got baddie VO,
Baddie BO.
BBO.
BBO.
Let's start BBO.
Big butt ostriches.
Type shit.
Did you hear about that on the History Channel?
Oh no.
Yeah, they were doing that during World War II also.
Oh, type shit. They were doing big butt ostriches.
Soju,
They're doing it.
Yeah, they were doing it.
Oh, type shit.
No, okay, getting on topic. I like a passing smell, you know.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
It's like,
A pleasant cloud is good.
then here's the thing: if someone brings out that big ass bed, well, no, not Bed Bath and Beyond. What's it called? Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works.
That spray, you know what I'm talking about?
I know
The big body
exactly
spray?
what you're talking about.
You spray once, twice, maybe 3 times. Why are you doing 16 sprays? The bottle's damn near gone. Dude,
Like, chill.
It's
Like,
so like it's such an like when people would do that in class. Like I think mainly just this happened in like high school.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't really happen now.
I haven't seen it in a minute.
Like people who do 16 sprays of Bath and Body Works.
I think it's a crime to do that in a classroom because it's gonna like, it's obviously gonna smell. And it's not even that it smells bad. It's just like it's getting on the people around you. It's gonna be so strong for the people around you. Like just do that outside, you know?
That's all I'm saying. Like I don't like that whatever that scent is.
Yeah.
Like when it's like I don't. It's not like vanilla or flowery, but it feels just very like it's like damn this is like artificial sweet.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
so strong.
It's like whoa.
Mhm.
And then like with guys, like I don't know, I've never really seen like guys like put spray on in class, which is probably telling that they smell bad.
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah, you agree?
I agree.
Okay, thanks. Glad we can agree on that. You had topics?
Oh yeah, I got hella topics.
Okay.
Shit. I just knocked over your pillows.
My feet are gonna be showing the whole episode. I'm sorry.
Oh hell yeah, I'm zooming in.
My
I'm not zooming.
My nasty feet. Sorry.
Bro, I lost my toenail again
Dang.
from soccer.
From soccer, yeah. My feet have been recuperating though.
Okay. I have an offer for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I was thinking this would be on the pod. It's like own dedicated episode. Alright?
So we're suggesting an episode on
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm suggesting an episode on an episode.
Got you.
How would you feel if I walked you through a sex course?
What's the sex course?
Okay. So I was talking to a friend, right? And they're like, yeah, no, I walked my friend through like, you know,
Is this for an Ivan or something? Or
No.
who is?
beep.
Oh, you're not mentioning her anymore. Okay.
Well, I mean, I can't get too specific. Okay. Anyway, they were like, you know, I walked my like friend through like, you know, everything, how to do it right before their first time. You know,
Okay.
like, I don't know. You know.
Is this an online course or is this what?
Well, I was thinking like a PowerPoint. Like, would that be weird or?
A little bit.
Oh, because I think it's like an awkward topic, but
It's not like the worst thing ever.
yeah, we've talked about worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I
Let me
don't
know. Let me
I
know.
don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Next topic.
Next topic. Okay.
Are we talking about sharding? Oh, another episode pitch. We should have a debate about some shit, like an official prepared debate.
Like something funny debate or real debate?
It could be either
Alright, what's something funny debate?
6 or 7.
No.
You got ideas? I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think too. Funny debate.
I don't know, because I feel like it'd be good if it was like a prepared argument, like, you know.
Okay. What's something like, serious you think we'd disagree on? Well, I mean, we don't even have to disagree. It could just be good for the sake of debate.
I know. I mean, we've had differing opinions on AI. I'm trying to think what else.
Which I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Can I say it now?
You can say.
why is Adobe Acrobat like? Why are they pushing ads that hard? You know, like when have you thought, damn, what's that PDF editor software?
That comes pre-installed on every Microsoft device.
Okay, exactly. And it's like, I'm like, there's no way they need to advertise this much, right? I mean, but I get like hella ads.
I get so many.
Yeah, exactly. And like the new thing is like, oh, we have an AI assistant. Let it summarize your PDFs. And I'm like, we have gotten to the point where these companies think we're too stupid to even read a PDF. You know?
That's kind of sad.
Why are we summarizing PDFs?
What are we doing?
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
I don't know. It's so like to me that's so strange. I was just like, I'm just like, no way this is that much of a necessity. You know?
No, I don't know. I think AI has its uses, but like, I don't know. I think frivolous use is really stupid.
I think it has some use and stuff, but like a lot of the products that, like how it's attached and like they're trying to integrate it in with like search engines and like just even our phones and stuff like that. It's like it feels like this is stupid.
I disagree with that.
It feels like you can just maybe search it up even, or you can just like do it yourself. I don't know. It just feels really dumb and stuff, and sometimes it just feels like cumbersome. Like, why am I doing like on my Google browser, like Google Chrome browser? I'm like looking at an assignment and it says homework assistant or something like that. I'm like, why? Like, why? What is it gonna do? Like, scan the page and tell me what I have to do for my assignment? Like, what? But it's not like it's gonna generate like an answer to this. No. Then it'd be like, I don't know. I feel like you have to like prompt something to do that.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is a homework assistant? I'm just like, it's so, I don't know. It's so dumb.
I don't know. I don't think AI should ever be used as a search engine. I think that's kind of stupid. You know.
I just like, isn't it like, are you gonna get that much like different results if you search like, oh, top 10 restaurants in Orlando? You know?
Yeah. No.
It's like you could probably just do that on Safari.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And also like travel itineraries. Mm-hmm. You know, I hear that's like people do that a lot.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, how do I travel 7 days in Spain or whatever? And it's like, don't you want to like discover that for yourself?
Yeah, don't you want not do the most generic travel plans ever? You know.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun or whatever, but like, don't you want to like search that up for yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's all about the discovery, and you know, and I just find that so boring sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
What about what else about AI?
I don't know. Are we getting into it?
Sure, say whatever.
Okay. I don't know. I think like it is very helpful in more like day-to-day personal use. Whenever it's like, you know, I don't know, tutoring for a class or something, or you know, I don't know, in more like editorial senses. I don't know. I think it does have like a strong place there. I don't know. My whole gripe with it is just like the environmental impact, and it's like it's very hard to justify anything, you know, with that. So I don't know. It's like I don't want to stand super hard on the side of like, oh, I love AI, blah 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 blah, because like I think it should be used, but I think the entire focus right now should be on minimizing or reversing or coming up with some other way to generate that energy, you know, like to reduce its environmental impact.
Like, what do you mean, like editorial wise?
Like, copy paste this paper, you know, like grammar, just like, I think it is able to give you, I don't want to call it a human perspective because it's obviously not,
okay,
but give you like the same attention to detail another human would. In a way, you know, like in a way that you can't get just from searching up. You know, I
like how to like proofread my paper and stuff.
Yeah.
Or how to check for grammar and spelling and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a lot more effective at that than, all right, I'm gonna go back and edit this myself. You know, which I still think you should do, but I think having almost that other perspective on it does.
But if it's so fast, then why would you? You know, like if it's gonna take you like an hour to do it yourself, right? Why wouldn't you just like, okay, this is like maybe 95% good enough, right? And it's like, why would you go back and do it yourself? You know, if you can do it 95% good, and, or even like 99% good, and be done with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there should always be human elements with AI use. You know, I think if you are going to use AI to edit something, you should always go back and be like, you know, you read over this, you double check this, you make sure like it didn't cut anything important. You, I don't know. There still needs to be human elements. Like it should be a human's paper put in there that is edited, not like, hey, generate this paper for me. You know, I don't think relying solely on AI to do things wholly is good. You know, I think it's used best in conjunction with human work.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I I would say like I can recognize that all these things are good and like they'll save people a bunch of time and like it's perhaps like simpler, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is important to challenge ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when we think about technology a lot of times it's like, oh, how is it gonna make our lives easier, you know?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times like in the end it's gonna make our lives harder, you know? Because if like we use AI on like every paper on like proofreading and like grammar check, then like and like or even like sentence construction, you know, like oh it makes more sense if you do it like this way. Then you lose a lot of like the individual's like voice through their writing, you know, because that is not something that is really taught in like K through 12 education, at least in Florida. You know, I'm assuming most states is that like how do you like what's your voice through your writing, and I think like that's like a challenge that we should be pushing rather than like oh what's the most like efficient writing I can do and like what is it like what's the most like succinct style of writing that's gonna make the most grammatical sense, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely agree. And I think I don't know that human element can be lost, but I also think if that human element is already in your work, running it through AI isn't gonna eliminate that. You know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think if you have something strong enough, then it's gonna retain that. Um, and you know, I see it as almost an alternative to like asking a friend to like reread something. You know, I think it's I don't know. In my mind, it's almost like asking a professor, "Hey, can you reread this? Make sure I didn't make any errors. You know, how can I make this like? How can I improve on this?" And just get notes.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that. I think like how we learn to write is by reading, obviously a lot, and like when we read papers, like academic papers that have all been proofread and fixed by AI and stuff, it's like we start picking up on that style.
Okay.
Of it when we start writing for ourselves, right? And I don't know. It's like I don't know how to express that. Like what is good to do. It's like it's not gonna be the easiest thing to do. Hey Blake.
What's up, Blake? Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Okay. I'm trying to say it in like the best way. Like when we challenge ourselves to write and like take them like I mean not so like learn from like people's styles like we're using just like their own writing and no AI assistance and like that's how we keep on like making better writing, you know.
Okay.
Rather than like oh we learn from academic papers and stuff that's all been proofread and like edited to some extent by AI, right?
So you think using AI eliminates some of the human element?
I think so because like you eventually start training yourselves on stuff that has been edited by AI, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do agree on some level, but I feel like that's such like a wide scale view of it, if that makes sense. Like, I think, how do I say this? I think whenever it comes to journals, you know, you were using that example, a peer-reviewed journal is still going to be reviewed by a peer, you know? And even if it was edited with AI to begin with, you know, I'd hope that peer isn't using AI to review it again or whatever, or isn't solely basing it off of that, and that's like, is it good or is it bad? You know, whenever it comes to journals, I think, you know, that human element is still retained. And then that can go further into, like, you know, books. Like, there should still be an editor there, you know? And I don't really think AI should be, I don't know if it should be used for more creative works.
But if like you were doing submitting to like a peer reviewed journal, like what's their like motivation to doing the work should do by themselves if they can get it done faster with AI and it's like it's good enough, you know?
Because I think it will be higher quality work if, you know, someone does it themselves and it still retains that human element. You know, I don't think AI is going to come up with like some brand new great idea, whatever, you know, it's going to be the strongest work.
Well, it could. I don't know.
I think it's possible, you know, AI is used for great things.
I mean, it's trained on real people and real people's writing, then why can't it not, you know, do some algorithm, make some good idea through generating?
It could, but I mean, I think that human element is always going to be the strongest.
So how is it, but is it not human if it's like, if it learns off of real people's work, you know? And like, certain algorithms that show like, oh, this is what a human would do, like most often do, like this word next to this word, next to this word.
No, I think it's just the most, I don't know, common answers, you know? It's like, this is what, you know, good people do, so this is what I'm gonna do, if that makes sense.
Okay. I see. What's up?
What's up?
Don't worry, you won't be in the video.
Okay.
What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, I think like a really easy position to like, this is something different.
Okay.
But like really easy position to argue for AI, just think, yeah, you just be kind of like middle ground on it, you know? It's just like, oh yeah, it does like do environmentally damage and stuff. It's like, it's inevitable, you know?
I don't know. I think it is easy, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong, you know? Because it's already being integrated in ways that you can't avoid. You know, like Google search, the first thing that pops up is AI, you know? And it can, I'm trying to think how to say it. It's hard because I have like a very moral like objection to it, but I also interact with it, you know?
Like pretend right now that you were like vehemently like against AI and like it's used in like anything and stuff, and like, oh, you against me. It was like, why just have a middle ground opinion on it and be like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see what you're saying. It's definitely not going to be like fair. I don't know.
But like try, you know. Like,
Okay.
well, how could you like just oppose AI in like really like a reactionary way? It's just like, yeah, it's bad. I'm not gonna use it.
There's, you know, removing the human element. You see, I think there are harmful ways to use AI, you know, and strictly negative uses of AI that, like, I can stand on that and say, like, hey, that's bad, you know? But I think there are a lot more gray zones, and then I think there are positive uses. So I can stand on the negative side and say, like, hey, environmental impact is bad. Hey, removing the creative element, which is what a lot of people are doing, they're just, you know, it's taking the most common answer. It's taking the...
But isn't AI gonna help creatives, you know? It's not like if it's your work is better than just you being like, you know, by yourself, right? Like you the more ideas you have, the more like different like like examples of writing you have can better influence your own, and you can make the best story possible with AI, like with the assistance of it, right? Like, why would someone not want to use that?
Okay. I'm gonna break it down into like a very simple example that I hope like kind of illustrates my point.
Okay.
I have an idea for a story, right?
Okay.
For like one of the arcs, I'm kind of getting lost. You know, I've written a couple, whatever. I'm kind of getting lost on where to go. Go to AI, get some rough prompts. I don't take any of the prompts, but it kind of gives me a direction to go. Be like, hey, you know, this is like kind of the direction I want to be moving. I want to incorporate like some of this, some of this. Then I go write my own unique thing. It's just almost like I had a conversation about it, you know?
No, yeah, I agree.
As opposed to, you know, hey, I have this idea, where does it go next? And I just take that. You know? Like, I think that there can be constructive uses whenever you aren't just taking blatantly. I think whenever it's used in conjunction with like original ideas and like, you know, I don't know, just like human thought, it's going to be a lot more effective. Because if you tell AI to just like generate a story, you know, these prompts, whatever, like maybe some loose idea even, it's going to come out with the most like slop, like, you know, story you've heard 1,000 times. But if it can be used in some way to, you know, help the creator.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think it gives like a lot of people like the opportunity to be like, oh, I can't create on my own, like, and stuff, and like, how do I even start? So you can use AI to be like, oh, I need like 5 ideas or some story, right? Using the example of that, and then it's like, you do that, and you can, you know, maybe start out with something not so good, right? But over time you can get better and better, and you keep on learning and interacting with it, right?
I don't know. I feel like what you said is a little bit different from what I've said. It's. I'm trying to think how to put this into words. I almost think of it as who's doing the work, you know? And I doing the work where, you know, I have this idea, like, I'm just kind of lost on where it goes. Let me look for ideas. Okay, these are some ideas. That gives me my own idea, you know, go from there. Or am I going for, all right, I want to create something. I don't really have the skills to do it. I'm just going to have AI do it for me, you know? Like, in my head, those are two different positions.
Okay. But I think it's perfectly fine if you use it for either position. Like if you're someone who's a working creative, right? You can use AI in your sense to better your craft, right?
I don't think it's better in your craft, in the second sense, you know?
No, I mean in your sense, like if you're creative and you have something you're already working on, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
And you need help, like, oh, I don't know where this story is really gonna end up. And like, but I need something like resembling it, right?
Yeah.
Does that not help you get better as a writer?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like my take on that has kind of shifted over time. You know, it's like the last time we had a conversation about AI, I brought up the YouTuber Doug a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because so much of his content is AI based, and you know he uses it for coding in some certain circumstances, but he also will use like character AI to have conversations with characters. You know, and I kind of lost my train of thought. What was I trying to say? Oh, he will talk about his creative process, and he will, you know, he has this podcast called like Lemonade Stand, and he talks about like his usage of AI, and I think it's best when combined with a human idea. You know, I hope I'm not just regurgitating the same thing over and over again,
But do you see, like, I'm still that person though who believes in AI.
Yeah.
As like I'm acting, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot that we were doing
Okay.
personnel. Okay, so I'm staunchly against year 4, right?
Yes, I mean we missed that part a little bit, but yeah.
Okay. My bad. I honestly forgot
No,
about
you're
that, and
good.
I was just talking.
That's good.
But-
Keep talking.
Okay. So I'm strongly against AI. Yeah, I don't know. Can you give me a prompt? My bad. I kind of got
No,
lost.
you're good. You're good.
I just started talking.
I'm just saying it's like when adopting like that persona for myself and stuff, it's like to me it's like it's so easy and to like argue for that
Mhm.
because you don't really have to take like a super big stance on something, right? And you can be like, yes, this it has some negative effects, but like look at what it's doing, right? And I don't know. I like it. Like we don't trust like gut feelings and stuff,
Mhm.
but like I have a gut feeling that's telling me, hey, something's not like all the way right here
Mhm.
when I argue like that,
Yeah.
right? And I think how do I explain this? Like I think it's like you can't explain art, and I know that's like for people like do people have arguments over like AI usage and art and stuff? It's like, oh, you can't fucking explain it, like why are you against it? And it's like I don't know, it's like some gut feeling I have, right? But no one takes that seriously, so it's like, is there any like logical way to argue against its use? Because hey, like just like strictly speaking, if I like tore off whatever opinions I have about it, then I'm like, yeah, AI is great, It's like it makes the creative process not easier, maybe not easier, but it helps a lot, It's basically acting as someone who could read your work all the time and provide feedback, which is impossible in real life. And then also, if you're someone who like wants to get into making art, right? Like you want to start getting into writing and making stories, and it's like if you have no knowledge of that, then you can just you can ask AI to make something for you, which we know is gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Right? Or you can ask AI like, how do I start writing a story? Like how do I write the opening paragraph to a short story? And it'll give you examples, and then it'll tell you like, oh, this is the strategy people do, and this is like how you get to the story, right? You can't argue against that,
Yeah.
If you're someone who's like opposed to that, you just have to be like, there's nothing like convincing you can do of other people to show your opinion, because whatever you believe in, it's not concrete. It's not something that is an actual argument. It's just a feeling you have, right? And then, but I think that's still important because at the core of what like being a creative is feeling, And I think if you lose that, then your art suffers as a result.
So, do you think any AI use? This is just like a personal opinion.
Okay.
The question, but do you think like any AI use in something eliminates the like I don't know, almost human worth of it?
In some way, yes.
Okay.
But obviously, AI can be used to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then you can say like, oh, AI can be used to enhance things, like in movies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and it's used as a tool to make the movie like more visually appealing. Right? But it's like, that's not like, I don't know how to explain. That's not like what I'm saying, when I talk about AI. I think it's more like like the emotion you're trying to get out of it. That's what I'm saying. It's like an improper use of AI and creative work.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand like how I like to break it down is into like different levels of like how far are we going with this, So it's like, obviously like purely human made is like the base, right? And then like I want to know how you feel about like kind of the pyramid, It's like then we go to more like editorial uses, and then we go into like it kind of leading you down those different paths of like, all right, here's some different ideas, but you are still making the final decisions. You aren't like just taking solely from that, you know. And then it goes into like, all right, now I'm starting to copy some of those ideas, like exactly, you know. And then it goes to like, this is an entirely generated work, you know. Like,
Oh, but that's lovely. People can do. I'm just I'm kidding.
I know. But it's just like I'm curious, like that's how it works in my head. That there are different levels to AI use, you know. And maybe you don't have that like idea in your head, but I'm curious how that kind of breakdown works for you. Like where is it lost?
Like what does other like make you feel? You know, that's what I get out of it. You know, it's like what is it? What is this trying to make me feel? And like what am I actually feeling? And that's all. To me, that's like the whole point of like, you know, engaging with hope, right? And so, I don't know. It's hard to say like, oh, just don't do this thing because it's like available and it can't. I'm sure someone can like write something with the help of AI and be like, whoa, this is a good piece of writing.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels wrong to me, you know. And I think like if like people who do love art and it's like they should feel some like wrongness to using some sort of like I don't know tool to help them get to something like to their product, right? I know I would, you know, like if I was writing and I'm like, damn, I can't come up. Like I'm using your example, right? If I'm like, damn, I can't come up with something to like finish the story, or even like make the middle part of the story, then it's like, just take your time, then, you know. I know that's not like, it's not like available for everybody, right? But the reality is, if you're like a working writer, then you're either you have someone to support you financially, or you're like one of those people where you make so much money off of it that like it doesn't matter the time between your books or whatever, or you work another job and you have to do something else. Yeah. Writing makes no money pretty much for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Right. I just thought that was really long-winded, but
No,
what I'm trying
okay.
to say is just like, then just take your time with it. You know, if you can't figure out what you want to finish writing, then just come back into it in a week or something, or a month, or a year, even, and then like, then you'll learn something about yourself in that time, and then you'll be able to finish it, right?
Can I be honest? Because I just had like a perspective shift and kind of like realized where I was sitting.
Okay.
Like, I fully agree with you in everything that you just said. I think what I am thinking of more is, I don't know, I don't generate creative works, really. You know,
Okay.
I'm not writing books, I'm not doing whatever. But I apply that to like music for myself.
Okay.
Because that's like something, you know, I do like. That's creative, you know, and I like writing lyrics, whatever. I completely agree with you that like any kind of AI use would just like defeat the point, you know, and it loses that human impact, you know. Again, it's just like a feeling, but like, I don't know when.
But doesn't that matter though?
No,
like,
it does. It does.
I'm not saying you don't think that,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like when creatives, right, and like not you and other people have conversations with, it's like to them feeling doesn't matter for you know, and it's like it's just a product, and it's like, oh, how do we make money off of this? Which of course everybody wants to make money
Yes.
off their artwork, but like that's not like the sole purpose of you know what I'm saying? And it's like then it's impossible. Then you can't defend yourself for being like, hold on, there's something we're missing, we're overlooking, right? Because it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the whole point of what art is. It is just a feeling, you know.
Yeah. I think my perspective that I was kind of defending is more in an academic or like scientific view, you know, to where it's like, I've got to write this report, I've got to write this paper, you know, like I need some assistance of where to go, or I need some clarity with this, is this well worded, you know. I think that's kind of more what I was defending there.
Okay.
You know, just like actually breaking it down, because I know, like, again, just applying it to my life and stuff, like when used with art, no, you know.
Okay. I don't know. You like? Do you think I struggle with those things when I'm writing like academic stuff?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
I
common
do.
experience. I
Yeah.
don't know why I thought so hard.
No,
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
struggle with it like all the time, every time, every assignment. I'm like, I'll be staring at this paragraph and I'm like, Dylan, this is shit.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I'll delete it, I'll rewrite it, come back to it, And it's like, in all my classes, like the use of AI at all is prohibited.
Oh, okay.
Like at all, like my professors, they take a very firm stance against it, And it's like, okay, when I'm at that point when I'm feeling stuck, it's like, what do I do? I had to like really challenge myself to think, And I think that's what's so great about like learning and stuff. It's like you're challenging yourself to think. That's something that we don't do on a day-to-day basis at all. We're actually told by like all the products we use to not try and not really challenge ourselves to think, right? Back to the Adobe Acrobat.
Okay.
Why do you think, like, I'm not saying it's like some government plot to be like, we want to make you stupid, right?
Yeah.
But when you tout these products that are like, oh, we make everything faster, we make everything easier, and it's like, then no wonder no one wants to challenge themselves when it comes to learning. It's like, oh, what's the summary of this really important? But got it. Now I know it. Like that's like that's what's lost when you don't take your time and you don't struggle, with things. It's like you have to struggle to learn about anything, right? Like,
can I explain?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I almost view it as like easy. I don't know, just difference in perspective here. Like AI is almost encouraged in some of my classes. I'm taking like an epidemiology class this semester, and they're talking about for your reports, like, yeah, no, you just have to mention that you used AI, and you can use it for like clarity, and you can use it for grammar. Just like don't use it to generate original ideas or like on a broader scale. I think it gets kind of complicated when it's not like specifically defined, because how do you define that? But I don't know, that's different. And the point I was trying to say is that fuck it, of course now I'm blanking.
That's okay.
Oh, okay, I got it. I view it as almost, I'm gonna go back to like you're writing, your example, you were writing a paragraph, you realize that shit, what do I do now? I personally like the option, like I have the mindset, and this might just be a me experience, right?
Okay.
But like, it's almost like, damn, I failed this test. I want to know what I got wrong, and I want to know what I can do better.
Okay.
I like being told like, hey, this is what you did wrong, and then I like to go and fix that. I like to go in and put in like, hey, or like, I'm gonna make this clearer, and then I don't know. So for an example with AI use, I'll write a paragraph, and I'm like, I know this is missing some shit. I know that this isn't good. I spend like a while on it with myself, and then it's like, I just don't know what it's missing. So I put it in, I get some feedback, and then I go and rewrite it myself.
Okay.
And I work on it. I take those notes, and then after a while, I'll put it back in again, see if there are any more notes.
Okay.
Take it, put it back,
If like you're encouraged to use AI, then go ahead and use it. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah. I feel like it's so hard. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's like, I feel like it's a difference in our work as well, because yours is so creative and mine is more so get to the right answer.
Your work is still important.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously, but it's like, I don't know. I have a very staunch approach whenever it comes to creative things,
Okay.
But whenever it comes to more, like, I don't know what the word would be, like, academic, but that's like, I don't want to say creative isn't academic,
You see there, you said,
like,
oh, I don't know the word, right?
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I know it's like we're on a podcast, we got time to speak, but like, you could think about that and then like go home and be like, what word was I trying to say, Like what, like, you don't, I'm getting it? It's like,
I get what you're saying.
You see, we have these moments where like, okay, I gotta challenge myself. And it's like, that's the scary part, for a lot of people. It's like, I don't want to challenge myself. I just want to do, And in your classes, okay, if it's encouraged, then like, it's gonna make your life easier, go ahead, just do it, There's nothing like no more notion right there, because it's like, yeah, just do it. If it's available and it's like gonna get the job done, then just do it. But I think with a lot of my work, I know my work is so important and awesome and stuff like that. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it is.
I think it is, but nobody thinks that. But what? Sorry, what was I trying to say? Never mind. Forget what I was saying.
Okay.
See, I'll come back to it later
Okay.
in my mind when I think about this late at night. But I read this book this week. It was called The New Jim Crow, and it's by Michelle Alexander. And that book is like legal theory, right? And it makes a very bold claim right at the start of the book. It says, we have not escaped Jim Crow, and if anything, it's worse than what we have now. Like the criminal justice system we have now is worse than Jim Crow, and that young black people, and specifically like black men, are put into this undercast, like a caste in society, like people higher, you get it. They're saying like, oh, we put young black men in this permanent undercast, and that being labeled a felon is actually worse than living under Jim Crow, when you can even, as a black man, look up to a white woman passing you on the street. Like you'd have to literally duck your head so you wouldn't make eye contact with her. Right? And the author made these really bold claims that saying like, Barack Obama doesn't represent any racial achievement for black people, even though he's the first black president. Wow, like what an introduction, right? When I first read that, I'm like, how do you even support that? Because it's like, what are you trying to say? It's not like, how can it be possibly worse now? And like, how can you say all these claims and stuff, right? But after I'm reading the book, and I'm like, hold on, I kind of agree, And it's like, that's like the essence of like, I had to really challenge my thought, Like I could have just read it and be like, no, this is wrong, this is like, you're making these all like bold, outlandish claims, like it's not even supported by anything, right? But it is, and it is very like having something that is challenging to read and comes from someone, right? Like there's I don't think there's any AI you can write into. I don't know, maybe there is, right? But I don't think so. I don't think there's any AI you can write into and say, hey, Barack Obama didn't mean anything for like black achievement in this country, or he like even worsened it and stuff. And it's like, they'd be like, what? No. It's like, now young black children can be like, I can be president because Barack Obama's president. And I'm like, it's like there's something very challenging when you have someone very educated make these claims and like support it well. And it's like, I had a very emotional connection to the book, right? Because it's like, it makes you feel insecure at first. You're like, no way. Right? Or like, I'm sorry, I can't get behind this. But at the end, it's like, hold on, there's like something seriously wrong with the criminal justice system, right? I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but I mean, like, that's like why, learning is important, and that's why challenging ourselves is important, and that's why it's important to take your time to think about things.
So, do you think kind of being led on the way eliminates challenging yourself? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because I see what you're saying, and I agree. But I also think that you can still have that challenging with, like, AI, for example.
Right. I don't know. I just don't think the personality... see, this is something like, I just think. It doesn't actually exist.
We can talk about feelings.
We can talk about feelings. Okay. I just think for Michelle Alexander, right, off of this great book, the book came out in 2010, but if she was making it now, and she had all the assistance of AI, right? It's like, I don't think she's the type of person to be like, damn, I don't know how to make this claim that Jim Crow was not, like what we have now is worse than Jim Crow. Because that is such an outlandish, like, claim off the bat. It's like, what are you talking about? But, like, I don't think she'd go into AI and be like, how do I assist myself in making this idea better, And that's what, like, I'm not saying she's not doing it for shock value. Anyone can do anything for shock value. It's just like put random words together and be like, "Whoa, look at this!" You know, you don't believe this? What the hell? Like, you're stupid, But it takes really someone really smart and someone who really wants to challenge other people's thinking to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna take you through it all the way," and like really like challenge the notions of what you think. Right? and here's another conversation past AI and
Okay.
stuff, but like that's what I have a lot of trouble like identifying with like conservative politics and
Mhm.
stuff, because a lot of the talking points is like, well, just don't think too hard, or just like,
Because if you apply any amount of thought, it just crumbles.
well, exactly, and it's like, okay, you can't make these outlandish, like if you told them like, oh, what we have now is worse than Jim Crow, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like white people can go to prison and stuff like that, or make some crazy claims like that. Right? It's like, if you can, it's like that's like kind of the middle ground like approach to like conservative politics. It's like, just don't think too hard, they'll be fine, and they'll be like, well, okay, it slowly gets better. You see, we had Jim Crow then, and now we have like, well, a black president.
Yeah.
Like things can get better.
Mhm.
Like, you just have to wait. But it's like, that's the problem. It didn't get better. It got worse. And it's like, I don't know. And I'm not saying like that like more like mainstream like Democrat and like liberal politics are any better, because I think they fall along the same pitfalls, right?
Yeah.
They say, oh, don't think about it too hard. See, we have Barack Obama. See, this is like possible. We are making good change. And it's like, okay, but like Barack Obama did a lot of shitty things too, Like that's what's forgot about his presidency. It's like, do you see? Well, I'm just going on.
You're good.
Tangents.
You're good. Keep talking.
But you see people online, it's like, oh, we missed the Obama era optimism and stuff. Like, okay, but what was he actually doing? You know, like when you just say like blanket statements, it's like, don't think about it. It was so happy back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Was it? Like Obama. Obama like said some things talking about how like, oh, there's a lot of like failures in the black family and stuff, and then it's on the men to like rejuvenate the family and like get people off drugs and stuff like that. And it's like, that in itself is like, you're ignoring the actual problem that like people get arrested for no reason on like very small amounts of possession of marijuana or cocaine, right? So like when you like, he's actually advancing like pretty racist ideas that like, oh, it's all on you, there's no problem with the system, you have to fix yourself and fix your family. Like, isn't that, is that what Obama optimism is or whatever? And it's like, I don't think so.
I don't know. Can I offer? Okay, I completely agree with everything you said. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going against any of that.
Well, you can disagree. I mean.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Like, what time are we at?
Like 57.
Oh, okay. I just want to offer like a different perspective.
Okay.
Like, things are so bad now, right? We can agree on that. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with this, but I'm just saying it. Like, looking back, let's go to like the Obama optimism, can you look back and say like, this was so much better without fully supporting a person, this goes, okay, I see what you're saying now. I'm the middle ground guy, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, your argument here is making me feel like I should be like a more staunch person,
Well, I think, yeah, we should be more staunch and we should be more argumentative, Like, how did Joe Biden even win the election the first time? How? That guy's not, first of all, he's not mentally well to run this country, right? First of all. But also, his politics are based on like pretty like Republican ideas, and then like he's very centrist when it comes to like liberal ideas. It's like, that's what everybody who voted Democrat. Making huge claims about Democrats.
You're good.
But like, when people are like, oh yeah, Joe Biden's so much better than Trump, it's like, okay, yes, like on optics and like what his like rhetoric is, but like he's still gonna be pushing harmful ideas, and he's still gonna be committing genocide in the Middle East, right? Same with Obama. Obama did the same exact thing. He did so many targeted airstrikes in the Middle East that killed so many civilians, right? And it's like, what about that is optimistic,
Yeah.
It's just optics, Like a lot. I noticed that in very democratic like liberal circles. I think like most of our friends are pretty liberal.
Yeah.
I'd say, or at least like moderate. Right? It's like, it's only optics that make them vote for this person. It's not because it's like very it seems like I'm insulting their intelligence now, but like I think people do just care about optics at the end of the day. Like why someone votes for Trump or why someone votes for, like Kamala Harris this past time. It's like it's just optics. A lot of Republicans they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris simply because she's a woman.
Yeah.
First of all, and then she think she's weak, and they only vote for Trump because he appears strong and because he just says whatever, you know. And a lot of people voted for Kamala Harris simply because she was not Trump, you know, and that she just seems more put together or like at least coherent. Right?
Yeah.
That's just optics, you know.
But I don't know. Don't you think optics are so important to a certain extent? Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to think how to word this.
If any other leader of a country bombed another country simply to gain access to oil and like push their ideas of democracy, we'd be like, I don't care how handsome he is. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm gonna propose a scenario here, right? Trump's running, right? Don't we need the optics of Kamala Harris to be amazing so we have something to go against Trump? You know, it's like, obviously, you know, like...
I hate both of them.
You know, I hate both of them. I hate both of them. But, like, I've got to go hard. Like, I don't think we should blindly support presidents. I'm not saying that.
No.
You know.
What we've lost is that presidents are treated as celebrity when they are servants, or public servants, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
They work for us. We don't work for them, and we don't want to take pictures with them. I can't stand that. Oh my god. It's like, oh my god, I met this congressman, or I met the president, let me take a picture. It's like, why are you taking a picture like they're a celebrity? They're working for us, you know? And here's the thing, why we care so much about optics is probably because we're American and stuff.
Yeah.
And we always have to look like we're the good guys. They're all bad guys. Every president's a bad guy.
Agreed.
Oh my god.
Horrible.
Ronald Reagan is the devil, okay? Like the first line of the Boondocks. Yes. Ronald Reagan is the devil. Bill Clinton is the devil. Okay? George Bush is the devil, and Obama, he's part devil, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's part black, I guess, too, you know? And that's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we have to see like, okay, who's the good guy in this scenario? And like, what's gonna make us feel good to sleep at night, you know?
Okay. Again, completely agree. I don't want to sit as middle ground guy, but I'm going to again, okay?
Okay.
When we have someone like Trump like going for office, right? I'm gonna talk as like liberals in general, right?
Okay.
Can we come up with a opposition while being so harsh? You know? Like, can we do that? Can we have a rival? Because obviously, like, the correct thing to do is to break down, you know, like, I don't know, Kamala Harris shouldn't be up there. You know, she shouldn't be. She should not be. But
she is notorious for, in her home state of California, for locking up so many people on marijuana possession charges for years and years and years.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's just unjust, in my opinion. That's not.
But, you know, that's who the Democrats pushed. So isn't that
exactly
the person we need to support and still criticize?
But no one criticizes her.
But no one criticizes Trump, is what I'm trying to say. You know, Trump doesn't have that opposition on the right.
We like, here's another thing, right? Man, I sound like a politician. I'm not answering your question.
You're okay. Do you at least see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I just don't agree with it. Because it's like, here's the thing. A lot of times when people criticize Trump, it's like, oh my god, he sounded so stupid up there. He, his spray tan is ugly or whatever. His toupee's falling apart.
Yeah.
You know? Or like, he can't pick up a glass of water anymore. Right? That's like, oh my god, 2016 was worse. That's all people cared about. You know how many times they're like Obama and like shit like that about Trump? Yes, okay, make fun of that, like whatever, you know. But that's not like a real criticism of him is like what he's doing in office.
Yes, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? And I think like his 2016 to the 2020, it's like, okay, what did he do that was like so bad? Just like, could you ask like, oh, what did he do that was so bad besides just look kind of stupid? And he had like a weird spray tan going, you know? Like, do you know?
I mean, I can talk about his politics, but I can't like pinpoint like things that he did.
And that's the problem.
That is a problem.
Because like all you care about. Well, I'm not saying sorry. This sounds
no,
weird,
it's okay.
But like I think that's a mentality we have. It's just be like, oh my God, we had the worst spray tan in office for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what was he? But what was he actually doing? Why can't we criticize that? No one can talk about that.
I should know.
Exactly, we should know.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's like that's like like. Nah, I don't know. It's just like that's what is lost, and that's why learning is so important because you can take your time with it,
Yeah.
and we have perspective.
But I don't know what I'm trying to say with this is that Trump wins off optics alone. There are very, very, very few thinkers on the right, and they're probably fucking crazy.
No, I think they're very smart.
Like,
I think they're very smart. They
really?
know how to mobilize hundreds of millions of people.
Well,
To believe. Tens of millions of people to believe in something that's just nonsensical.
But it's just optics, It's all just optics. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, Trump.
That's what Ronald Reagan was. He used to be a television star, before he. He used to be an actor before he got office. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is Trump already like I'm gonna go back to Trump versus Kamala, right? Trump just like he's winning off of optics alone. So how hard do we have to push for optics on this side? Because we can't get everyone to think. We can't get everyone to that level. Don't we have to kind of push that this is the perfect person and then criticize later? Like, do you get what I'm trying
who
to
was
say?
gonna become president who never did because he got assassinated?
Who?
Martin Luther King Jr. He would have definitely became president. He was at the height of his popularity and putting all Americans across the board loved him for what he did when it came to civil rights and stuff.
Yeah.
Not even like a couple years after that, he has like the lowest approval ratings ever. You know why? Because he detested the war in Vietnam. And then he also he called it the poor people's revolution, right? He wanted to lead a group of he wanted to uplift the poor and create a more egalitarian society like that.
Yeah.
And he wanted to stop being interventionist. Let's get out of Vietnam. Let's get out of let's get out of Korea, right? And let's do these things that are gonna better the poor people in this country and let it be owned by the poor people. People. They call him a communist for that and stuff like that. But like, he was still such a great person that if he got like, oh my God, sorry, I'm just thinking about like the actual story.
Okay.
Let me get this right. Okay. He like one of his most famous speeches, right? Like a couple days before he died, where he wanted to take the people to the mountaintop, which is this allegory to the Bible. You get it.
Yeah.
But that's what was so good about him. He wanted to really reshape how we think of like power in this country, right? That it comes from the working class, it comes from the poor, and we have to do our best to uplift the poor, not just be like, why can't you get up here next to me? Plus that going for him, right? Plus he was devoutly religious, so he could have mobilized a very large sector of like the Christian population off those values alone.
Yeah.
And he has a history of being very well liked and like has really like created these civil rights acts that we always look back to even now. I think there's a good shot he could have became president at that time. But he was assassinated, But that's someone who really challenged the way we even think about like American politics and who would have been like popular enough and like optically good enough, to become president. Right?
Yeah.
Why can't we have that,
No, I agree. That's what we need. How many times have we talked about anti-Trump, Like, that is what we need, but it's not what we're getting. What we're getting is people who, like, slowly push the boundary closer.
Yes.
But, like, if that's what,
But Republicans now revere Martin Luther King Jr. They love him.
Yeah.
They say, like, oh, he's the good one. He's the one who, like, fixed these things. And racism... Like, okay, yes, like they say racism is over, right?
Yeah.
You see how immensely popular he was, and like the ideas he was thinking of, like, oh, I want to help the poor. like in change our power system.
Yeah.
That's someone who can do it, and he's not the best optically. You know how many smear pieces in newspapers with him with cheating and being a drunk.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was a notorious cheater on his wife, and he was a notorious drinker as well, right? But even in spite of that, he could still become the most powerful person on earth.
Yeah. And those are the kind of people we should be supporting.
Yes.
But my argument here is that we are not getting those kind of people to the primaries, to the actual election, you know? So when we get these shitty candidates, when we are already there and we don't have the people we need, don't we kind of have to buy into the bad optics, you know? Like, don't we kind of have to, like,
even in your belief, you just say we can't, and it's like, I don't know, I don't prescribe to a we can't, like, mentality, right? Because we can look to all these great leaders we've had before and who are, like, really, like, changing how we think of politics in this country, right? And they did it in such a short amount of time, you know? And maybe even under harsher conditions, you know?
But we don't have a Martin Luther King today, and that's the problem, you know?
Exactly, so we need to stop saying, like, we can't, and we say we do.
Okay, I shouldn't be saying we can't, it's just we don't have that. And we should have that. That's the kind
Democrats just want to get there and lose, you know? That's how I feel, right?
Yeah.
All they want to do is just elect a candidate that looks good enough, sexy enough, whatever. Is not as abrasive as Trump. They just want to get them there and be like, why didn't you guys vote for him or her, you know, or them, whatever. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit about winning. They just want to get there and lose. That's exactly what they're doing with Trump.
Yeah.
What? Even when Joe Biden stepped down and like let Kamala run the presidency, what was she doing? She didn't even fucking try to win. She said
not a single new thought.
No, she got in there with the idea that I want to oppose him, and that's a losing mentality. I'm sorry, it is.
But don't you have to buy into that to beat him in that scenario?
Yes, but that's why people didn't vote for her, because they see, oh, she just wants to lose. You know, here's someone he wants to win.
Yes.
You see,
again, completely agree. But don't you have to buy into the optics at that point in time that it's Kamala versus Trump?
But
we have no other option.
Our country has shown that we don't buy into that idea, though, that we just want to go in there and lose.
Yes, but like those are the two options we have at that point. You know, that's it.
Yes,
that's it. So don't we have to buy into our optics? Is what I'm saying.
I say, like, I'd rather that, you know, because I voted for Kamala. You know, I'd rather that and stuff. But how are you going to convince someone, right, who's maybe undecided about who they want to vote for and be like, oh, go for the candidate where she's just opposing this guy, and instead of going for the guy who says, oh, I want to win and I want to change things.
Again, I agree. That's the fundamental problem.
So give a fuck about optics and let's stop voting for these people in the primaries, and let's stop spreading these ideas of like, oh, we can't, and like, let's not. You know, I think it's like another thing. It's like you have to challenge yourselves to think about this. Because, like, if you're an American, and even if you're an immigrant, like no, I'm not an immigrant, but like, it comes from a family of immigrants, right? You can blindly be like, man, America's the greatest country on earth. I mean, look at my family. We escaped the Vietnam War and we escaped the Korean War, and like, we came here and we made a very good life for ourselves. Motherfucker, you're missing the point. Shut the fuck up. I know you're at home. Shut up, right? All you care about is just like, you can be blind to it.
Yeah.
Instead of realizing, wait, there's these great power systems that like, even when like, there's these success stories with immigrants and stuff, it's under like a lot of like caveats that actually like, oh, we're not on equal playing terms with white people, like white straight people at that too. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, if someone was like, someone can believe in like, well, Dylan, like, look at you, they make so much money, you know, they're Asian and stuff like that, you know, like, how can there be racism in this country if you can succeed? You know? It's like, no, I'm not ever gonna be a white person.
Yeah.
No one will ever, a white person would never accept me as being white. There's all these racial stipulations we have that are gonna put me lower and like have like an abundance of stereotypes on me, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Right? And also, Zolan Mamdani is not the Martin Luther King Jr.
No. It's getting, again, it's like we're pushing the boundary a little bit more, but it's not like, you know, we're there.
The thing with him that like bothers me is like he cares so much about optics. I mean, and I think that's just how politics is run now. It's like it's an optics game. I mean, it always has been, but like it feels like crazy intense with Trump. It's like, okay, you have to be a reality TV show star. You have to like look like good, you know, look strong or whatever. And it's like with Zoran Mamdani, it feels a lot of like I see him and it's like, oh, he's just a nice guy, you know, and like
I don't know that much about his politics. I'll be honest.
see,
You know?
is he religious? Is he not? Here's the real thing. He's not really like he's very centrist. Like, oh yeah, I'm a Muslim and stuff like that. But it's like, isn't that's a way to like appease a lot of voters who are religious, right? It's like it's not like that's what I can't stand. I cannot stand in this country. Every political candidate has to believe in some religion and stuff. I'm not saying that any of these religions are inherently wrong. I'm not saying Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, any of that is not inherently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to live however you want and believe in all these religions, right? But that should never be a driving force to your decision making in office.
No.
It should never. I cannot.
No, that's stupid.
I really cannot.
You're supposed to be representing the people.
Exactly, and our people are diverse. Hey, that's a great thing about this country, right? Our people are diverse. But why are we running on these values that would be like, oh, I'm religious, so it's like I'm good, you know? And it's like, no.
Okay. I'm going to take a step back for a minute. Again, to the optics. You cannot get a majority of Americans to think. You cannot get a majority of Americans to have the conversation we're having now. They, like, optics is what's important. Optics is what gets the vote. You know? It's like, again, this is how it should be. There should be conversations had. But then again, it's like, we still end up voting for these people. We still end up supporting them. Right? Go Zoran, go Kamala, whatever. You know? We still do it. No, it's true. We still do it, you know? It's like, we buy into optics at the end of the day. A majority of people don't think.
You still have a faith in this system.
No, I have no faith. I'm just saying.
But yes, you're
this is
saying
how
you have
it
to
is.
play by the rules to win. So you believe the system is somewhat just, that like whoever wins is right.
No, I don't think that the end thing is a win. I don't think getting Kamala Harris as president is a win for the U.S. or anybody, because that's horrible. We need someone better, but that's who we got right now. So when we have a Kamala, when we have a Zoran, shouldn't that be celebrated on some level? Like, they should still be criticized.
But no one criticized. If Kamala Harris wins, like, is CNN gonna be criticizing her to no end?
No,
Is
but
mainstream left politics gonna be criticizing her?
no, but that's my whole point. Because to get to that point, you have to have the optics. To win against Trump, you have to have the optics. For Zoran to be like as popular as he is and slightly push the boundary, you have to have optics. How it should be is that we have the next Martin Luther King Jr. We have whatever, and they have the optics. But people don't fucking think anymore. You know? All that matters to them is the optics.
So in the age of information, in the age of like we can have any answer in the tip of our fucking fingers, right? We're a country that doesn't think.
Yes. Do you think the majority of voters are thinking?
No.
I maybe not you, but I even just said, like, I don't really know much about Zoran's policies.
Me too,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, optics is what matters, you know?
You've heard him say, "Oh, I want to make affordable housing."
Yeah.
And like keep rent prices low. Like, what does that actually mean, though?
I don't know. I have heard him talk about a little bit of, like, you know, renovating certain areas and lower income housing and stuff, like specific areas and stuff. Now that I'm kind of jogging my memory, but like, you know, I don't know. People can just run on that and not do anything.
I guess so. That's that's my main like point I'm trying to get across. It's like, okay, yes, all majority of Americans think that, but we can't let ourselves just succumb to it and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to accept this part of our society. I cannot accept it. I have to challenge myself to think, and I have to talk with people and be like, you're wrong, you know, and I have to think like more critically, right? And for the hopes of one day, like when I'm older and I'm working, right, maybe I can influence a small amount of people to think differently. See, when that happens on a large scale, you change a lot of people's opinions, right? If I'm able to change your opinion and a couple of our friends, that's a lot of work done, you know.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying.
We should, at the individual level, we should challenge ourselves to think, and we should spread ideas that are like actually beneficial to
Agreed.
our society.
Agreed.
Right?
But and I don't want to say that's unimportant, but that doesn't win the elections though. You know, it's like how do you influence
But
the
it-
majority?
But it's by the individual and through your personal group. And eventually, if you have people, if you can push these ideas of like how we learn to think and education, right, then it can happen on a grand scale. And then once you have that person who is able to like check all the boxes, whatever, know what candidate that is because they don't exist. But anyways, check enough boxes, right? When we have that, then you vote for that. And instead of being like, oh, like okay, I just need to vote for the person who just like looks good enough and it's not Trump, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
But okay. My thing here is that Trump isn't the perfect Republican, okay? But what we are going for, like he literally redefined what a Republican is. He just made shit up, you know? He made up his own policies that are or politics that are now key to the right, you know?
like what? I'm not trying to be insulting
No,
to you, but
yeah.
like what?
Let me cook with this
Okay.
because I can stand on this point. I just have to think about it.
You know who Make America Great Again came from? Came from Ronald Reagan.
Really?
Yes, that catchphrase came from Ronald Reagan. And Trump is just emulating what Ronald Reagan is doing, okay? And it just, it's a little tempered down, I would say. You know what? When Ronald Reagan, he's notorious for starting the war on drugs, right?
Mhm.
Which is basically they rounded up people on possession charges and did like mandatory sentencing of years and years for marijuana and cocaine, right? Do you know in his advertisement what he would call those criminals who are majority black and majority poor? He called them the natural predator. Isn't that horrible?
What the fuck?
He said natural predator, and then he said, oh, the black women who take advantage of the welfare system. He called them welfare queens and stuff. Isn't that horrible?
That's horrible.
What? Then you see Trump's rhetoric, right? What does he say? He says illegal aliens all the time.
Yeah.
He says like rapists and pedophiles. Right?
You see, okay, that's what I'm trying to get
He's
into.
saying- he's
like
saying
he's
the same thing.
developing his own politics, though.
No, but that's like a continuation of what Ronald Reagan was doing. You want to target a group specifically, right? Ronald Reagan wanted to target black people specifically, right? He's not gonna say, oh, let's imprison all the black people in these inner cities and like leave families destroyed. He says, no, there are natural predators out there, and there's these welfare queens who are taking advantage of the system, right? Trump, he wants to. I know this sounds outlandish, but Trump wants to like get rid of immigrants in this country.
Yes.
That's true. Right?
Okay.
He can't say let's get rid of immigrants. He says let's get rid of illegal aliens and these rapists and these pedophiles and these criminals.
Okay. When I say he's making up his own politics, maybe there's a history behind it. Maybe he's taking that directly from Reagan. You know.
Okay.
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it's not rooted in anything. There's no truth to this. The truth, the root is racism. You know, and just feeding off of that, right? It's like the right is able to make those things up. And it garners so much hate and so much approval. You know, that's how they get a majority of people to vote for them.
But where
You
do
know?
they get that from?
Racism?
Yes,
Yeah.
racism. You know what I noticed when I was reading the book?
Mhm.
It's like the central idea that has been guiding like these racist politics is the idea that white people civilize people of color. That is the central idea. You know, when colonizers came to the western half of the world, right, and they discovered it or whatever, they came under some good sense of. It's not a good sense, but that's what they believed, that they were civilizing these people and making them better so that they could be equal to whites, right? But still implementing these racist policies like slavery and like racial hierarchies in these countries that never had it before, right? How does the idea change when we get to the Civil War in our own country, right? White people, like Southern slave owners, right? They were motivated by profit and like agricultural product, but most of all, they thought what they were doing was good. It's like, oh, if we let these enslaved people loose, it's gonna be like mayhem and everything's gonna be burning down. They thought they were doing these people good.
Yeah.
You see how harmful that is?
Yeah.
We go to that, right? And then, okay, it loosens a little bit. Slavery is over, right?
Mhm.
But we still have segregation. Why do people believe in segregation? They thought, oh, we're doing a good job like helping. They thought they were helping these people.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And we get to the war on drugs, right? They think they're helping these communities by getting drugs off the streets, which they're not. You know,
Yeah.
it's just gonna keep on coming in. They think they're getting drugs off the streets, and they're thinking they're helping these subcultures, which are just people of color, right? That is exactly what Trump is doing. He thinks he's helping these people. It's like, no, I just want good immigrants to come in the right way, right? He thinks he's helping, you know.
Yeah.
But what he's doing is pushing this centuries and centuries old idea that white people are meant to civilize people of color. That is what he's doing. It's just in a different form, and it doesn't look as bad because we don't have like the cultural and like historical like perspective to look back on and be like, holy shit, this was horrible. Like I'm sure in 20 years time we'll look back at Trump going up on stage in front of like thousands and thousands of people and like spreading his ideas to millions and millions of Americans, and you'll see some of your relatives in there, right? And he'll be chanting, I hate illegal aliens and like they're rapists and they're pedophiles. And that we're helping society as a result.
Okay.
That is what it is. It's just continuation.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you get what I'm trying to say though.
Okay.
That is obviously wrong. Right? Yes. Yes, that is wrong. But he gets the people to believe in it, you know? And like if someone is racist, you know, like they're gonna be voting right. You know?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of racist Democrats also.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Scratch that. It's whenever you break that stuff down, it is wrong. You know, illegal aliens aren't pedophiles. They aren't rapists, you know? It's like whenever you actually break that down, there is no standing there. It's all optics and creating this like, you know, person, this enemy, whatever. Like, don't we on the left also have to buy into the optics to oppose that?
No, because we think white people civilize people of color also on the left.
Well, yeah, yes, but I'm saying like the left. I'm saying more us against Trump, right? On our
us
level.
two versus
us
Trump.
two versus Trump. Okay, we're running for president right now.
Okay, sure.
Okay, look, like obviously the left is still racist, and that, like I'm trying to think how to put this into words because the left is so flawed still, obviously. Right?
No, but the left isn't left. And
I know.
Like,
the ideal left is what I'm trying to say.
no, but that doesn't exist. You need to stop. You see, you're buying into a system, right? You think, oh, these systems work, and that if we go through these channels of like what social justice is, it will eventually turn out good. What I'm saying is that people on the left, right, and the right even, which is just like it's so extreme, right? They all believe in this idea that white people are meant to civilize people of color. Even Obama thought that. Even Bill Clinton thought that. You know, like the joke back when Bill Clinton became president was that he was the first black president. He did. Yes, that's real. But that's actually they called him like, oh yeah, he's the first black. But you know why? Because he played saxophone. See, you see the idea that like it's based off optics. It's based off nothing, right? As Americans, that's all we care about. It's like, oh, does it look good and does it offend us, like, and like make us sleep weird.
But what I'm trying to say is that you can't get the majority of Americans to think. Yeah. Okay.
But it's not like one person is gonna do this. It's like the individuals, right? And you take and you learn from other people and you speak to them, right?
Yes, but I honestly don't think that can ever be the majority. And that's sad to say, but I don't think it can.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? It's like I wish it could, but I don't think I think the majority is always gonna favor optics.
Which
you know?
I mean, yeah.
Is that crazy to say?
No, I know. Like, but like the system is flawed. Okay.
Agreed. Like we don't disagree here. You know?
The system is flawed, right? But I'm just saying we have examples of people who seemed like people called them crazy. You know, people called Martin Luther King Jr. crazy. People called Malcolm X crazy.
Yeah.
People still today call Malcolm X crazy. And what did he say that was a lie in any of his speeches or anything? Nothing. None of it was a lie. It's all what he's saying is true, and uh, the system is so flawed and so fucked up, right? That we need to stop buying into this idea that the system works for people who want to push social justice and want a better society out there, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And something about Bill Clinton, right? He was afraid. You know what? Sorry, my bad. These ideas that were pushed by Ronald Reagan and stuff, they influence left politics on the same side because they want to win against him, so they have to accept some of his values, right? Bill Clinton wanted to be seen as tough on crime like Ronald Reagan, So he implemented even harsher drug sentencing laws, and the 3 strikes and you're out rule, and it became 2 strikes and you're out, and it's these things are crazy, and they're pushed by these crazy people who right-wing extremist politics, right? And we think, oh, okay, it's just optics, We want the president who looks cool, like Bill Clinton, who looked cool and he had an affair, But at the same time, we're letting them just push these ideas of these very harmful ideas.
Okay. Yes, I agree. Yes. Again, 100% agree. But what do we do until we have that revolutionary?
You talk with your people.
Yes, but you have to buy into the optics in this meantime. You have to. Right? You have to vote for Kamala Harris until you have that revolutionary. You have to be fuck Trump. I mean, that's something different. Obviously, fuck Trump. But you have to be yeah, Joe Biden will, and then criticize later. Because
no, I'm not gonna say go Joe Biden.
No, I'll say go Joe Biden because he's going against Trump.
I won't.
Obviously criticize, say what's wrong, but
no, but
what is your solution?
We're treating them as celebrities.
But what is your solution in the meantime?
Be the person who doesn't do that and hope other people can be influenced.
But still vote for Kamala Harris, right?
Yes, still vote.
But how does Kamala Harris get that popularity if we don't have that around her?
I'll still vote for Kamala Harris with all the knowledge that if people don't vote for her, I understand.
But then we're gonna lose to Trump.
If that's all we care about, then we're done.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have to buy into the optics.
No, but if that's all
you have to.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay.
Okay.
As they say in Toronto, right? Here's the thing.
Crody.
See, Drake doesn't have this problem. He can't vote. But the thing is, but that's still our belief in the system. We think whoever wins is what's good,
No. I'm not saying that. I am saying that this is what we have to do. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that it is the solution. The solution is we have that revolutionary that completely changes how our political system works, right? Why do we only have two parties? Why are they both right? It's not right. It's not correct right now. But how it is currently, you have to play the optics game.
See, we're playing a game. We're playing a game.
It is a game.
But it's with real people's lives,
Yes, but what is the solution right now?
Okay, I'm not saying don't vote because that is your right to vote and stuff like that. But we shouldn't be pushing for these. We shouldn't be treating these people like celebrity. That's I've noticed. I've started to realize I can't stand. Oh my god. Even with Zoran Mamdani and stuff, where he does street interviews and he's well, I'm kind of the quirky guy, It's no, you're not. You work for us. You work for us. We as a people, right? Okay, I know. I'm not saying we can change American people, everybody, right? I'm just saying that on the individual level, we need to do better. Okay, we need to do better.
I disagree.
You don't think you need to do better on the individual?
No, I agree with that. I think we should treat them as celebrities. I'll say it because they are never gonna get the optics that Trump does.
That's why people run for office for the first place, because they just want to be celebrities, very powerful ones at that.
But again, I agree that they're public servants and they shouldn't be treated like that, but I think we have to. I think that's the only way they get the optics to win.
And we're stuck in this bullshit system.
Until we have a revolutionary. Which is what we need now.
Yes,
but we don't have.
Do you know Anania on Instagram and stuff?
I don't think so.
She does the gay Gato show. She's like,
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
and she has Zohan Mamdani on it. Which, okay, I think
I
she's.
saw.
I like her stuff. She's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, don't put him on there. He's
Put him
not. No, he's not a celebrity.
Put him on.
He's not a celebrity. He works for us. He works for us, right?
Yes.
And how many times can we say he works for us and we know what he's actually working on? No, we know when he's. All we know is that he's gonna be at the Met Gala, and then he's gonna be in some cool outfit, right? And he's like, he's a gay ally and stuff like that. Yes, good. But what is he doing? You know, what is he actually doing?
But the people on the right are always gonna be doing that.
But we need
so
to be
we have to do it too. That's what I'm saying.
And then, but you still subscribe yourself to this belief in the system.
No, again, because I will say time and time again, we need a revolutionary that changes the system. But while we are in the system, we have to play by it.
Okay, but like a left centrist Donald Trump or whatever cannot win against a right extremist Trump. In this country, no, I don't think so.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, maybe not against Trump, but maybe against Vance, man. You know? Because that's where we're at now. Because we aren't going to have a good candidate in next election. You know, we aren't. Unless we have some revolutionary that changes it all. That changes the political system. You know, but that next left president isn't going to change shit. But we have to buy into the optics and say
we have to do
it's
better.
a celebrity.
We have to do better.
I think we have to.
We have to change our system by being a direct opposition to what they stand for as their system.
But that's not what the left is.
I know, but the young people who are gonna continue to vote, right, and the young people who are gonna be the next leaders, right, they have to do better to be the exact opposite of what they are. Be the most humble person ever, and what you're doing is not for any camera or any social media post, right?
And whenever that new political party starts up and
But see,
gaining traction, but how does it gain traction without optics? You see what I'm saying? You know, it's like, how does it get to the point of mass scale change?
I don't know. Ask a humble priest from Alabama. Ask a humble priest from Alabama who had no media attention on him, and he led one of the greatest civil rights campaign in our country.
And whenever,
see, and the people on the right, they like him too. So it proves that if you can be the most humble and you can be a great change to the system, you can get support from everybody because you are undeniable.
But where is that today? Why haven't we had that?
Because we're treating these people like celebrities, and technology makes it worse, in my opinion. Okay, it only speeds it up and it only creates these false numbers that we need this amount of viewers so we can attract the young bisexual vote from Brooklyn. You know, and it's like, yes, good, okay, but like, you see what I'm saying?
So do you think the next revolutionary is not going to be a celebrity?
No, but they will be propelled into celebrity status. You see, by becoming the most powerful person on this earth, okay? On this earth. When you become president of the United States, you're the most powerful person on earth. For better or for mostly worse, okay? If you put in someone who just cares about optics, isn't that crazy? The most powerful person on this planet earth only cares about optics, and he doesn't give a shit about what happens to anybody. He doesn't give a shit.
Do you think Zoran was a celebrity first or a politician first?
But in his
campaign, genuine question.
His campaign was run off like being a celebrity and being optically better than Cuomo. It wasn't run off some very like what's the word, like I just lost it. Something very different from what Democratic policy is. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, I want the New York City to be the be the city where it's run by its poor people, by the people most in need. You know, where power is centralized." Shit, I'm losing my voice now. Centered around that, right? He's not. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Eric Adams, stupid as hell. Andrew Cuomo, a fucking piece of shit. Okay. Yes, they are. And all Zohan had to do is be like, "Well, I'm a little bit better, and then I'll accept some of these like left policies or whatever, like rent stabilization, and then like creating like a more like friendly environment." That's all it is. It's like, okay, just make it a little friendly, and that's gonna appease the people of New York City. What is he running on besides that?
I'm gonna make a claim. I think we need celebrities.
No, I don't think.
I think we do. I think we do. I think that's how these ideas get popular. I think so. I think, like fucking Hassan, whatever. Think about how many people he's influenced, right? I'm sure he's not perfect. I don't even know every single policy or whatever that he talks about.
But he's sexy.
But he's sexy, and, he wants to free Palestine, and, he has a lot of good takes on shit I care about,
Yes.
And he has educated me in a lot of ways, It's like, I think celebrities are important, man. I think so.
That's us as Americans. That's what we care
Yep,
about.
but we're Americans.
Yes, but like it's proof you can be propelled to celebrity status. You don't run on gaining that. You are propelled into it when you are good. See, I don't want to say good, but like when you're a great leader, and you run the supposedly free world. Then can you say like what the fuck? Like the president of the United States, right? Optically, he's the leader of the free world. What the fuck is so free about this country? That's why I don't think we don't need to have these people run on becoming a celebrity, Like, why are they shouldn't be waiting for that verification badge, okay? They should be waiting for people to show up to their marches and speak. Oh my god, that is what I don't understand, and we're going way over time, but whatever, okay?
I do have to get going.
Oh yeah. That's what I don't understand. You know why these civil rights marches don't gain any traction the way it did in like the 60s and 70s, right? Because no one speaks at them. No individual speaks at them, right? We do our chants and then we get out of there, right? And it gets a lot of attention, right? But no one goes up and speaks and has a message, right? I went to the No Kings protest, right, in Orlando, right? The idea is that it's no kings, it's against Trump, like wanting to run against the third term and like his totalitarian like government that's locking up and deporting people, right? Mm-hmm. But at that same march, we're also marching for different ideas, like free Palestine and like LGBTQ rights, which is needed, by the way. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not, but like, see how we're so decentralized? We have no idea what we're doing. Yeah. And at that march, not a single politician came to the city of Orlando, right, to come up there and speak about something. Mm-hmm. It was just for everybody to be there and say, "Oh, here we're doing something," which is good. But where's the direction? Where's the actual like what are we trying to get out of this? Like you can say it and you can be all good about it, but where's the direction? Where's the changing thought that's happening? Yeah. And if you have the opportunity with like-minded people, which you say, those people think, in your opinion, which I don't think all of them think.
I don't think all of them.
I don't think all of them think, but like
there's more.
This is the group at this protest, right, who are vehemently opposed to what's happening in American politics.
Yes.
Why is there not one centralized message, and why is there not someone leading that message too?
Because how do you gain all of that support if you're not a celebrity?
See, but even at our protest, we can't do it because it's false. It's fake. It's fake.
It is.
And I think those protests are good, right? But it can't just be good. It needs to be great. It needs someone to speak at them. We need fucking direction, okay? People went home after that like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened. There's no traction to be gained. There's no like momentum to be gained on like promoting social justice if we all go out there and scream different messages.
Yeah, agree.
There's no centralized message at a protest of like-minded individuals. Isn't that so stupid?
That is crazy.
I'm not calling the protest stupid.
I get what you're saying.
I'm saying like that is like that's what's wrong, And I do know a humble person who got launched into stardom, and she's on the right, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She no political background. She was the heir to this building company, right? And she got propelled into
humble.
She's not humble. Okay, she's rich. Okay, but she got propelled into there. No political background. She's not part of some system, or whatever. And she did it, And they have a very centralized message based on hate and just absolute racism against people, right? But on left-leaning politics, even progressive and whoa, this is woke politics. Mm-hmm. No message, no centralized message, no leader. no idea, no person who wants to speak, and no one who wants to be propelled and stardom. I mean, propelled to celebrity status. We just want to be at celebrity status, right? And we go. Why are these people going on media press junkets? You know?
Okay.
Why are we going from Gaydar and then we going to fucking Vanity Fair? You know?
Okay. I agree that the goal shouldn't be to become a celebrity, but I think being a celebrity, like, you have to be a celebrity to be successful.
Yes, but you will be propelled into celebrity status. You don't go from...
I think sometimes it happens adjacently. I hate to say it.
Can we get Marjorie in here?
Call her in. So, I told you my idea about sending her an email to come on the podcast.
You know what? She'd probably cuss us out.
How long do you think we could keep her on the call?
Like 2 minutes.
I think if I'm talking, a good while.
No.
No. I think if I'm just, like, being as neutral as possible, white guy talking, you know?
No, she doesn't care about you.
Oh no, I think if I'm just like, how's your day going? What'd you do today? Like all this shit. I think like we could keep her on, you know?
And then she'd be like, can I tell you about this Facebook post I saw?
And
no, but I'm just like, these people are propelled into stardom, okay? You don't start at stardom, you are propelled into it, and you don't do these, like, you know, like, that's not the game plan, you know? I know it is the game plan, and I know that's what we need to do or whatever, right? To just be in opposition to Trump. I'm tired of just being in opposition to Trump. Why isn't there any change on the people? Like, what? Like, if Joe Biden was still willing to run, we'd fucking put his bones up there in ash. And
I'd still vote for it.
I know.
You know.
I know, but I'm saying that, okay, good. You know, do that and stuff, but there's something wrong.
No, I agree it's wrong. It's just, I don't know, what I'm focused on is what I can do. And honestly, I haven't been doing what I need to do. I need to educate myself a lot more, you know?
Real.
Me
too. No, me too.
Real.
I'm not, I agree, like.
But the thing is, we are way more educated than the average voter. So it's, really? I think so. I think we're a lot more educated than the average voter.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what, like, I don't know.
Think about half the voters are on the right. Over half.
And I'm sure they're good, hard-working people. You know, I don't want to demonize these people.
I don't know. It's so hard when, like, they themselves are demonizing people, you know?
Yes, but a lot of, like, I'm not going to attack... See,
like, my family voted for Trump, and I feel like I can still demonize them in some way, you know?
Like, go ahead, demonize them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to demonize other people of color who voted for him.
That's where it gets kind of complicated.
And I know you're not part of this conversation and stuff, but, like, my issue and stuff is that people of color hate other people of color so extremely hard and stuff. To the point where we're like voting for Trump who wants to like directly harm all people of color, in my opinion. Right? That is another issue. And I don't know where it's going with that, but it's another issue. You get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we call it there?
Yeah, we call it there. Do you have your... Oh, wait, do you want to do media?
Oh, yeah. I think I just have one. I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quedeca. I mean, I love Vanisher. I didn't tap into this album, like, fully, like I should have, and holy shit, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I don't know, it's up there with Vanisher for me, with favorite albums of all time.
Okay, my media is put up a multi-view of CNN and Fox News, and see if you find any coherent opinion.
Nope.
You find any coherent opinion, you can comment it down below. Excuse me. Alright, see ya.
See ya.